Test, 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 test. Here I am. Good morning. Sawati Tan Chow. Hopefully, the sound is perfect. If it's not, please let me know. Today is a very important day. Quite frankly, I'm here in Thailand. This election means very little to me. However, it's very interesting to see what transpires. And while the election isn't that important to me, it still is important enough for me to watch, because I want to see what happens. I want to see who's going to be running the country. And I don't think things are as drastic as some people say, which is if Kamala Harris wins, there'll never be another election, or if Trump wins, there'll never be an election. I don't think that's going to happen. But I can tell you that here in Bangkok, the election results have already been chosen by the Thai pygmy hippo that's making such a sensation here, which I don't understand it. And that is Mu Dang. Mu Dang has made, is it a her or is it a he? Her. It's a her. Now, if Mu Dang says it's so, it must be so. Mu Dang, the baby hippo, has chosen Donald Trump to win the election. And we'll see. That's what I got to say. We're going to see. Things are transpiring right now as I see it. I've been looking. Oh my God. Donald Trump 154. Kamala Harris 27. Now this is just preliminary. And you know, who knows? She could very well win some states that she needs, and that'd be it for Trump. Maybe he's going to be stuck at 154, or maybe he'll get 200 and she's going to pull out ahead. You never know. And what I've heard is that this election, it's going to take anywhere from 2 days to a week for all the votes to be counted. But before I get into this, we're going to talk a little bit about the Thai baht. The dollar versus the Thai baht, it's 33.76, which is okay. Not fantastic, but you know what? It's inching closer to 34. I wish it would get over 34, and then I could just go, all right, it's 34. I don't want to round up. I'd rather round down. So if it's 34.10, I can say, it's 34. If it's 33.76, I could say 34, but then I got to think, well, it's a little bit less. So you have all these things going on here. It's 58 is the air quality. 80 degrees is the temperature right now. 88 is the high. 76 is the low. 82 degrees is the feel-like temperature, and 80% humidity. That's what's going on here in Thailand. Now, am I very experienced with politics? No, I'm not. I admit it. I don't have the most amount of knowledge. I don't really care all that much about politics usually. Only recently, in the last, say, 4 or 5 elections, have I really started to care about politics, because it does affect your life. What happens, these people being in power, what happens does affect your life. And so that's why I care, because it does affect my life here, just as things that transpire here affect me. Politics here will affect me. So politics in the United States affect everywhere in the world. I would say most of the expats around me in the Philippines are going for Trump. Okay. I mean, I think it's you generally surround yourself with like-minded people. So maybe that's true. I don't really know. I could say the same thing here, but I don't understand the whole Harris thing. I mean, it was going to be Biden up until a couple months ago. 4 or 5 months ago? Biden was going to run for president again, but I heard him speak for Harris a couple days ago. I couldn't understand him. I was like, he's like mumbling. Harris, yeah, hey. I couldn't understand him. And it's sad because, he's an old guy. And you can't blame him for being old. Everybody gets old. If Donald Trump wins the presidency again, he will be the same age, 78, as Biden when he was inaugurated in 2021. To give you some context to this, Ronald Reagan took the office at 69 and left at 77. I didn't know that. I didn't know that these guys who were in their late 70s are actually the elders of, you hit 80, it's kind of like, all right, you think it's all downward. Donald Trump seems pretty spry for his age. And if Kamala Harris wins, she would be only the second vice president in modern history, with George H.W. Bush being the other, to successfully become president immediately after his or her predecessor's administration. So that's interesting, and just it gives a little context to this battle. Okay, now Harris has 32 results to go. Now this is obviously preliminary. 154 to 30. Let's see here. You still have quite a few left to go. I'm looking at them here. Map will update in again. Boom. All right, nothing updated. Now, I don't understand really what did Harris do to become president. This is why I don't think she deserves to be president. She ran for president and she completely got trounced. She does not strike me as someone extremely intelligent, extremely shrewd. It's not that, if I look at it, I'm sure I could meet her, I could like her, I could, maybe I could become friends with her, I don't know. I could sit down and have a conversation with her. And with Trump, of course, I think for sure I could be friends with him. Now, do I agree with everything that these guys are pushing? No, I don't, because I think most politicians are full of shit. That's how it works. I think they're all full of shit to some degree. To me, Harris does not strike me as being the most intelligent or most experienced candidate out there. In fact, I think she's probably one of, if not the worst candidates to ever run. She wasn't even going to run. She got stuck in that position. To me, she's a puppet. Now, the thing with Trump is he's a wild card. Like him or not. And, I don't appreciate some of the things he does internationally. I think he's not really presidential, but he does do some things and he does cause action. What I'll say is this. What has Kamala Harris done in the last 4 years? And I will ask the same question that Donald Trump asked. Are you better off now, or are you better off when he was president? And, I'm here. So, in effect, it doesn't really affect me all that much, one way or the other. Now, maybe it will in this case, but the last couple, I don't know how many presidents I was here from. Let me see here. Well, List of presidents. I don't even remember who was president in 95. My memory's not very good. Let's see here. Was it I was going to say Clinton. Was it Clinton? Yeah, it was Clinton. Okay, so Clinton, George W., Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Those are the presidents that I've seen in office since I moved to Thailand. Now, have any of them really done anything that has affected me? About the only thing that really has affected me is this Patriot Act and all the other stuff connected with trying to show everything that you have in your bank account overseas. Having to fill out all these papers, which make the Thai banks more apprehensive about accepting you as a person who's going to have an account with their bank. Barack Obama, hadn't done much for me, hasn't done much against me. Listen, none of these guys have done a whole lot that really affected me. To where I could say, oh my God, he changed it for me. Things are so much better, or things are so much worse. With Harris, I don't know if it would affect me immediately, but I think in the long term, over the course of her presidency, it would affect me. With Trump, I don't know, because he's a wild card. And that's the thing. He's a wild card. Listen, before I get going on this, before we get into the stream a little bit, do me a favor. If you like the stream, if you want to vote one way or the other, I'm happy that we get to vote. That's what I said. And you know what? That's the thing here. People don't understand. You having the right to vote is something that you should cherish. And if you want to choose Harris, go ahead. You want to choose Trump? Go ahead. It's up to you. And that's what the beauty of the system is. It seems to me that a lot of Democrats are so pissed off about Trump. They hate him so much. And they can't even fathom that maybe he's doing some good things. On the other hand, I look at Harris and, all right, she's not, you wouldn't call her stupid in the sense that she's made her way through school. Book smart, she might be good. I don't think she has that much experience in politics, and I think she's a little bit, I think she's a bit of a puppet. Now, here's the other thing. I don't care that she is the first woman, the first female black. I don't care about that. I just care who will do the best job, who will be the best president. And I don't think it's her. She may very well, she becomes president, she may do some great things for me. I don't know. Most presidents don't. Or she may not. Same thing with Donald Trump. But I think if I was to lean one way or the other, I would say Trump is more likely to do something one way or the other. And for her, I don't know what. I really don't know what she has done as vice president. I don't see much that she has done. I don't think she's done a lot at all with the border. I think that she's basically, I wish I could say more, but I think she's a nothing burger. She just has not done all that much. And I know my buddy out there, Teddy, you might disagree with me. I understand that, and that's fine. This is the thing. This has become a popularity contest, and that's a shame. And it's going to remain this way. Now, I don't want illegal immigrants being counted in votes. I don't want, and I think it's illegal in California, to ask for somebody's ID. I don't know if that's true or not. I need to look this up. I need to fact check it. Now, what I think is an ID should always be required to vote. It doesn't sound like copy of a recent utility bill, voter information guide, U.S. passport. Okay, so you got to have a voters without ID. If you're unable to provide ID, you will be able to vote a provisional ballot. Now, I saw something yesterday where this guy went on, he was trolling the people, and he was saying, I don't have an ID. Or no, he said, I was born in 1985. Or maybe I wasn't. And they're like, huh? He goes, I was born in 1985. Well, maybe I wasn't. And they were like, oh, well, and they finally just said, okay, let him vote. Which was, I don't understand it. Hey, listen, are you born in 1985? Yes or no? You know when you were born. If you don't know when you're born, you're not voting. That's how it should work. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, more than 30 states have laws requesting or requiring voters to show some form of identification at the polls. 9 of those states have what are considered strict photo ID laws, and another 3 have strict non-photo ID requirements. Some states require an ID with a photo verifying the voter, such as a driver's license, state-issued identification, military ID, tribal ID, and other forms. As explained by the National Conference of State Legislatures, other states accept non-photo identification, such as a bank statement with name and address or other document that does not necessarily have a photo. I think that's a mistake. I can provide a bank statement from anyone. It could be my roommate. Now, my roommate's got to vote, so I don't know. I don't exactly know. I haven't thought it through, to be honest. The ID in Florida also must have a signature on it, which is fine with me. That's where I'm from. It's Florida. That's where I vote through. Voters in Michigan with a photo ID must present it at the polls by law, but a voter can cast their ballot without a photo ID if they sign an affidavit stating they are not in possession of a valid photo ID. And, you know, it's like under the threat of, what is the law that they say? Let's see, I don't know exactly what it's electoral fraud, basically, voter fraud. If you vote and you lie about it, you know, if you turn in 5 different ballots, that doesn't cut it. If she wins, she will be a one-term president. If she wins, I think she'll be a one-term president, because I don't think anybody else is going to want to vote for her after the 4 years. I mean, honestly, I will ask you this again. What has Kamala Harris done as vice president? Now, and I'll say this, I mean, you know, maybe they're out to get Trump. I don't want to just go, yes, they are, because I'm not sure. I don't really know. What do I think? I think probably there is a section of the political, what am I thinking of here? There's a section in politics that probably wants to get rid of him. Whether it means an assassination, whether it means throwing him in jail, or whatever. Look, she's about as much of a do-nothing as you're going to ever find. I mean, that's how I look at it. Let me see something. Now, I'll tell you on the positive of what she's done. I know she was a prosecutor. Okay. And I understand there are a lot of people upset about Trump and changing the Supreme Court Roe versus Wade. I don't really agree on that. I think a woman should be able to do what she wants, and I think she should be able to take care of herself medically, legally, and not have to worry about it. But that is not going to change me to say I won't vote for him. I'm going to vote for her because I just don't see her as the president. I think she would get eaten alive by Putin, by what's the guy's name in North Korea? All these people, the leaders, the heads of states, most of them would eat her for lunch. I don't think she's tough in that regard. I don't think she's experienced. Let me see here. 162 for Trump, 30 for, let me see here, let's see. See, I've heard that through the polls, I've heard and seen that it's neck and neck, and Kamala Harris is up a little bit. I've also heard Trump is going to blow her out. Now, I don't know what's true. I really don't. But I'm just looking at things going, well, you know, I don't particularly think that she's the winning candidate. And it's strictly from a popularity standpoint. I don't think she has it. She doesn't have the charisma. All I hear is, are we going to win? Are we going to win? I mean, Trump said a lot of stupid things in his career. But, you know, he's a little more presidential than she is, and that's not saying much because he's not all that presidential. I mean, face facts. Whether you like him or not, I don't dislike him. I dislike Harris. I really do. I don't like her because I think she's rude. She laughs all the time when she shouldn't laugh. And she doesn't answer the damn questions, which is what you want. You want the candidate to answer the questions. Now let me see something here. I'm trying to find this. What is it here? All right, Anna Luna in Florida apparently has won, but okay, good for them. Really, really nice. But I'm not seeing the, let's see here. I don't see where Fox has the results, but I'm looking for them. Yeah, I'm nervous Trump will win. I don't know. Why are you nervous? I'm nervous Harris will win. I mean, honestly, and I'm nervous that he wins because I have no idea what he's going to do. You know, I can tell you he's strong on a couple of things, and he'll talk about you know, various subjects, but he goes off on tangents, and I don't like that. I want him to be focused. You know, this is the thing. I want him to be focused. I want him to, that's a president. You're focused. You know, you look the guy, I mean, granted, he looks the guy in the eye, he shakes your hand, all that kind of stuff. But I think, you know, they both have their strong points and weak points. But I just think, honestly, I think Harris is a bit weaker and more inexperienced than he is. I think when he goes into a room, he looks at it as a business deal. I don't think look at November 6th. That didn't tell you anything. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not really looking at that, John. You know, I'm of the opinion that you stay out of wars and you let the countries do what they're going to do to some extent. You want to keep things safe, but you don't want to be getting involved in everybody's war. And that's the thing. I don't want that. I don't want all this war. I'm fully ready, and I was in the military, and I was fully ready to go to war if need be. But really, what is need be? You know that these politicians, if you ask for their kids to go to go and fight, they wouldn't want them to. Or if you asked them to go fight, they wouldn't go. Now let me see something here. Sprint to the finish line. Yeah. And you know, over $1 billion. Over $1 billion was spent on the ads. On the ads for the presidency, for political ads in the last week alone. So this is record spending. $1 billion. Unbelievable. What's happening here? No, what is this? This is Nebraska. Looks like Harris is winning. Nebraska race called. What is this? Nebraska. Oh, okay. Presidency. Yeah, just called. Harris 54.2. Trump 44.8. She just won New Jersey. Wow, she won New York 65.1 to 34.9. Trump has won Ohio 54.9 to 44.3. He won in Oklahoma 67%. That was a blowout. Doesn't matter. I mean, you know, yeah, okay, it's the electoral votes, but South Carolina, Trump has won 59.4 to 39.3. South Dakota 69.3 to 28.5. Tennessee to Trump again 67.8. Texas, he's won in Texas. Okay. Vermont, she smoked him 65.2 to 31.8. West Virginia, he smoked her 69.7 to 28.4. He also won Wyoming. He got 3 electoral votes. So, you know, there you go. Now let me see something. I'm looking for my, here we go. Is this it? No. List. Boom. Boom. No. Okay. Let's see what we got here. 162 to 34. 162 to 62. So she's closing the gap. He needs 108 electoral votes to win. You know, I think the two things that people are concentrating most on are the economy and also immigration, and to a lesser extent, taxes. Would I? Hell yeah, I would. But I don't want to go, really, no matter what. What do I got to go back for? I've been here 30 years. What do I got to go back for? Honestly, what am I going back to the United States for? The only reason I'll go back is for my parents. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going back to the United States just to go back. Oh, he's president now, I'm going to go back. No, but would I? Yes. I'd go back if Harris was president. I mean, you know, listen, I'm not one of these people, oh, I'm never going to go back to America because she's the president. Ridiculous. Why was it horrible? What did he do to make your life miserable here? Because I've been here for 30 years and my life has been pretty damn good for the most part. I mean, I'd say 99% of the time my life is fine. Everything's good. in the beginning, you know, I sometimes I didn't have any scratch in my pocket. I was wondering, oh, well, let's see, when am I getting some more money? Now I don't really worry about that as much, but, you know, I got other things to think about. I got my family, you know, I got a lot of things to think about here. And, you know, anything here that affects me generally has to do with the Thai government and their flip-flopping, their wishy-washy ways. And, you know, that's a government. That's what governments do. They flip-flop, they talk too much, they sometimes they say they're going to do things and they don't do them. That could be Trump or Harris. I mean, really. And they do that here all the time. I mean, listen, I'm sorry for Biden. I'm sorry that he's an elderly man with dementia or whatever it is that he has. But I can't understand him. Just a couple of days ago, he was speaking for Harris, and I caught it was like every fifth word I could understand. Harris, president, you know. I mean, you know, there's the compassionate part of me is like, oh man, you know, he's in a bad way. I hope he'll be all right. I hope he's being cared for. But on the other hand, I'm like, that guy doesn't deserve to be president. I'm sorry. And he never did much as president, in my opinion. He wasn't a great president. He's not going to be remembered as one of the best presidents ever. It's not going to happen. So, you know, there you go. Now let me see here. Okay, Harris expanded the child tax credit to cut child poverty in half. Very good. Provided $450 billion in relief to 6 million small businesses. Sponsored legislation to expand and strengthen Social Security. So for that, I thank her. I don't have a problem with her acknowledging what she's done and what she has not done. And the same with Trump. I have no problem with that. It's just when you come out with all this shit and it's stuff that really didn't happen or was not attached to him and you act like it is. And the same goes with her. You know, I don't think that she slept her way into the presidency. I think it takes a little more than giving up the pussy. Now, let's see here. I don't always remember what these guys do, but I do remember how they made me feel about their term as president. So, you know, you got to remember that. Sometimes, you know, things are just not going to be the way you want them to, and you're not going to understand everything. Okay, listen. The guy was supposedly her boyfriend or whatever, and even if she wasn't, so she needed some dick. But I don't think that he's the one who made her politically. I don't think that oh, you gave it up to Willie, so now guess what? You're on the road to the presidency. You might be the president. You know, the thing is, okay, so people sleep with each other. Look how many people Donald Trump has slept with. I mean, I could go both ways. You know, really, you can. I don't look at that because, listen, he's you know, I'm not saying I haven't said some things about women in the past and now I might go, oh my God. Biden's old and rambles is on point. Yeah, he's definitely not on point. Yeah, I don't know about that. And listen, the hippo, Mu Dang, went and ate a piece of cake or whatever the hell cake. I don't know what it's made from, vegetables or whatever, and it had Trump's name on it. Now, apparently, another hippo went to the Harris cake, but nobody's talking about that. All right, and this is another thing. I go online, and it's not like you don't see. I look at Al Jazeera sometimes because they're pretty unbiased, but very seldom do you see something about the presidency, and it's very, very, very even how they are not biased to one side or the other. So what is this here? Oh yeah, I mean if you look at the squirrel thing where the guy lost his pet squirrel, they euthanized the damn thing. That's so stupid. I mean really, you have to put the thing to sleep over. You're not allowed to have wild animals. Oh my God. Don't they have anything else to waste their time on? Don't even get me started on that. That's just ridiculous. I'm seeing it on Al Jazeera. Trump 178, Harris 99. So she is closing the gap. He needs 102 more electoral votes. What is this? I can't. H60. What is all this shit? H62. Oh, Harris. Harris 81. Yeah, I got it. I've got it differently. I've got it 99 to 178 on Al Jazeera. So, but you know, the thing is who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the next day? Because things can change. Definitely they can change. You know, if I look on certain websites, you're going to get, well, Trump did this, but he failed to do this. When you look at sometimes what they're talking about with the Democrats, it's not just Harris. Random commenter, how are you, sir? Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a mess. Them should have picked someone other than Biden or I personally think, yes, that would be a good thing. I don't know who they would have picked. And that's the problem now. You know, there are these career politicians and people, you know, there are some decent ones, I'm sure. But they get in a position where they're going to have to do something nasty, and you're never going to please everybody. And that's the problem. You're not going to please everyone. Harris isn't going to please everyone. Trump's not going to please everyone for sure. And so you just have to go with your best hunch. You have to look at the facts as you see them, and that's the thing. You go online, you're trying to find something, and it's like, oh, well, you can see that this is definitely skewed one way or the other. And you're like, I don't want it skewed. I want the facts, nothing but the facts. Jack. That's what I want. Now, whether I'm going to get that or not, it depends on where I'm looking. And, you know, my mother has talked to me about this a lot. And I look at my mother and say she's pretty wise about things. But she always goes, yeah, you got to look at the source. You know. Well, and now after, let's say that Harris loses. Is she going to be the presidential candidate in 4 years? Because that scares me. It does. And who's going to be the presidential candidate for the Republicans? That scares me. And honestly, I've been looking for a long time about another country where I can get a passport. And it's not that easy in most cases because I don't always have, you know, the $250,000, the $400,000 to just, okay, now I'm a resident, but I gave up my $400,000 or whatever it might be. So I have to think and be smart about it. And I don't know that I'll ever get another passport. I kind of doubt it. Residency is a different story. But you're going to have to get your passport situation squared away every 10 years. So, you know, what do I really want? Yeah, Wesley, I've got it, like I said, on Al Jazeera. It is $178 to 99. Excuse me. And then let's see here. Where is it? If I can find it. $9.44 every day. Let me see here. Okay, on the BBC, I think it's 162 to 81, but let me just double check. Yeah, 162 to 81 on the BBC. I'm moving to Southeast Asia. Well, I moved here 30 years ago, and I'm happy I did. And to be honest, 30 years ago, there was, you know, there were political issues. There were things that you have to worry about, but nothing like today. So when I left, it was because I want to see the world. I want to travel. I think if I go to Bangkok or Jakarta, I'll be able to go everywhere I want to go. I'll be able to travel and see a lot of the world. I got to do it now because I'm young. I'm not that old. And if it doesn't work, I'll come back in a year. And I decided on Bangkok instead of Jakarta based on the fact that I had a neighbor. She lived next door to me. And she was Indonesian, and she was a nice girl, but man, her sense of humor and the way she was, I just didn't understand her. And I was like, oh man, she bugs me. She was like the kind you could be around for 5 or 10 minutes, and you're like, okay, I gotta go, bye. And so I decided upon Bangkok. And now it's been 30 years. In another 2 years, I'll have been here half my life. And I say these things all the time because to me, they are milestones. These are things that are important. I've been here for a long time. You know. Now, let me see here. Ten abortion-related ballot measures will be voted on, including in Nevada, Arizona, Florida, and Montana. Nebraska has competing measures on the ballot, one that would expand abortion rights and another that would curtail them. Interesting. Very interesting. I think you know how I feel. I mean, you know, listen, I wish there was 2 candidates that everybody looked at and went, wow, they're really strong. I'm not sure who to vote for. I really like this guy, but hey, that guy or that girl over here, I'm not sure I like her too. That's not how I feel. If I'm choosing somebody, it's because I'm choosing against somebody. And you know, for me, the Social Security thing is very important. And in my head, I just don't see any candidate, any president saying, I'm doing away with Social Security. Oh, I'm going to cut it 30%. I don't see that happening. What I do see is emergency funds being released and them saying, we're going to raise the age where you can get Social Security. We're going to make it more difficult. We're going to start taxing you more or something. And that won't matter to me because I'll be grandfathered in. So I don't really care about that all that much, although I do care if they say, oh, we're going to take it away. I just don't see that happening. I think that's, you know, I think that's a long shot. Let me see here. I wish they had, you know, in the odds. What is this here? I wish the odds. They would have the odds, you know, like at a bookie. The odds are that Social Security, there's a 5% chance. There's a 75% chance it'll be done away with. I wish I could see something like that. Now, here on NPR, it says the clock is ticking to fix Social Security as retirees face automatic cut in 9 months. They haven't said they're going to make an automatic cut. That's just ridiculous. The report from Social Security trustees predicts the retirement program's trust fund will be exhausted in November 2033 and faster, supposedly, if Trump is the president. That's what the report is. At that point, benefits would automatically be cut by 21% unless lawmakers adopt changes before then. They're going to have to make changes because that is going to be, in the next 4 to 8 years, that is going to be the subject on the table because people care about that. You got older people collecting their Social Security, and you know they're living off of $1,500 a month, and they're like, "Well, this is barely enough to get by." And you're going to go, "Oh, we're going to cut it 21%." It's not going to happen. Thanks to higher than expected worker productivity and a decline in expected disabilities, Social Security isn't burning through cash as fast as trustees predicted a year ago. Proposed fixes. Democrats have proposed higher taxes on the wealthy to support Social Security. Congressional Republicans have balked at that instead of calling for reducing the benefit formula and raising the retirement age for younger workers. I don't see that that's a problem, honestly. I don't trust any politician with my Social Security. Well, that's true. Seems every channel has a different score. She is not black. Yeah, okay. I don't know if she's black, Indian, I don't know what she is, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know what the truth is, honestly. I mean, you know, you ask, she's mixed race, a Jamaican and Indian woman who does not have biological, this is on the University of Colorado's website. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. Is she Indian or is she black? I don't know. She is a black South Asian woman. They're all saying something different. And quite honestly, just because she's black doesn't mean that you can trust her or that she's going to do everything for your benefit. Just because she might be part Irish doesn't mean she's, oh, hey, tip a Guinness for me, honey. We're all in this together. And she's part Indian. Listen, she was born in America, right? She was born in America, she's an American. At least I think she was born in America. Hang on a second. I have to double check this. Because I haven't looked in a long time and I don't remember. I don't remember. 188 to 99, is that what I said? Yeah, 188 to 99. That's the score that I see right now. She was born in Oakland. She's an American. I hate to say it, but you can't say you're African American. You're not born in Africa. Now, your roots might be from there. Just like because 5 generations ago, someone in my family came from Ireland. 1851 or something like that. That doesn't mean I'm Irish. It means I have, maybe I have Irish blood, okay. It doesn't mean I'm Irish. I was born in America. Born in the USA, baby. And this is what I don't understand. It's like, just be honest. Just use your brain. Her dad said he is half Indian and half Irish. He has been in Jamaica. His parents own the largest slave plantation in Jamaica, owning thousands of slaves. Well, you can't blame people for owning slaves back in the day when many, many people, George Washington had slaves. Thomas Jefferson had slaves. Come on. I don't look at it the same as everybody. I don't believe everybody needs reparations because of everything. Oh, God, in the 1400s, somebody did this to my ancestors. Now I need 20%, of whatever I'm supposed to get. I'm supposed to get 20% out of the pool, and I'm supposed to get, $1 million now. No. They don't owe me shit. Nobody owes you anything. And this is the thing. Most people don't care enough about that stuff to release the funds, to organize it, and it's just not going to happen. I don't think the blacks, because they were, their ancestors, some of their ancestors were slaves, they need to get a bundle of money, or, they need to be getting a stipend every month. That's a bunch of bullshit. So I think people need to get with the program. It's interesting that, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying. It's an example. It's interesting that, let me see here. I'm trying to look here because I got too many windows open. I talk about bullshit in Thailand and I get good views. I get a large number of views. I'm talking about politics and I get lower views than usual. Does it go to kids who are who knows? That's the thing. How you gonna track all that? All these people that are supposed to get reparations. How are you supposed to track all that? Really. It's nice in an ideal world, everybody would have money, everybody would be well off, and you would never have to long for anything. There wouldn't be any starving people, but that's not reality. It's not. And people have to face that. There are things the way you would like them to be, and there is the reality. And sometimes you just have to face reality, and you got to go with it. Because that's all you got. You ain't getting anything. Well, this is how it should be. Okay, then make the change, make it happen. If you really think like everybody should get an income from the government, where's the government going to get the money from? Or they're going to be taxed on the money that they're giving people. Doesn't make sense. I've worn this short shirt numerous times, Robert, and I wore it because today's election is a clown show. Well, yeah, that also. Yes, you're right. I haven't seen it in years, man. Like 30 years I haven't seen it. Whenever it was made, I saw it in the beginning. When was it? $1988, so 36 years ago. I saw it like 35 years ago. And if I remember, I do remember it, but I thought it was, kind of funny. Time meteorological is in the winter. Yeah, but so It started yesterday, I think. And I said that about a week ago. You know, listen, I got here in the chat, you'll see something. It's my goal. My goal for today is to get one super chat that is 400 baht or more. That's my goal. And that person can choose a subject for a stream or a video that's a talking head video or stream. Which brings me to the next point. Please leave a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I'm not getting very many thumbs up. Now, anytime I talk politics, and I don't usually talk politics. Now, I'm not going to lie. I voted Trump because I don't want to vote for Harris. And there are a number of reasons why. But it doesn't mean that I'm on board with everything that he says. I'm not. I always vote. I think it's a right, and I think it's something that you should use. And even though it's only one vote, maybe, I know some people that have told me they're voting and they're going to vote for Trump or they're going to vote for Harris. I know people. And it's like, well, if you don't vote, then the whole system breaks down. So. I got this in Florida, actually. And it was, it was kind of interesting. Well, I am relatively disinterested, but I'm smart enough to know that, if I ever do have to go back for whatever reason, and, medically, maybe I would have to go back. If I couldn't be covered here or it would be extraordinarily expensive here, I would probably go back to America to get coverage through the VA. But I kind of doubt it. Anything could happen, though. But if I had to go back, I'd like to know I like to know what's going on. It doesn't mean that I'm like worried or I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what's going to happen if Harris is president? Oh my God, if Trump is president? I don't think that. I do kind of look at, what their policies are and things like that. And usually I look at them and I go, like, don't like. And that's it. I don't get into it too deep to where I'm like, sometimes I have to think it through, but come on. Usually I look at the policies and I go, well, here's where she stands on this. Listen. I think on the abortion issue, I think women need to have the right to choose. That's me. And what I would say is, I don't think it's a great thing. I don't think it should be used as contraception. But that's where I stand. That doesn't mean, though, that I like her and her policies more than I like Trump and his policies. So, Yeah, you're saying that, but let me see, has anything been updated yet? We'll look at Al Jazeera. Well, I don't have to vote through mail, which is the beauty of it. I don't have to vote through mail. I get my ballot through the mail, and then I fax it in, which this time was a pain in the ass to send it in. Major pain in the ass because nobody has fax machines now. A lot of expats don't vote in the Philippines because the mail takes 4 months. Yeah, that's why I don't mail in the ballot. And I get a confirmation that it was received. What was the guy's name? I don't know if I still have it here, if I filed it. Let's see here. Oh no, I already filed it. I don't know if it's here. Yeah, I did. Okay, here it is. Your ballot has been accepted. Your voter packet has been accepted by the Broward County Supervisor of Elections Office for counting. Okay, I got that. But again, it was a pain in the ass to send a fax. So perhaps in the next election, if I still decide to vote, yeah, maybe I'll do it through the mail, or I'll do it another way. Maybe I'll vote in person. I'll just go around the time of the election and I'll vote. I don't know. Because in another 4 years, it might not be that important for me. I don't really know. And so what if it takes 4 months? Why does the mail take 4 months to the Philippines? Why does it take that long? Send it EMS. It shouldn't take more than a week by EMS. I mean, that's ridiculous. I know it's the Philippines, and I know it depends on where you are in the Philippines. If you're on some little rinky-dink island, maybe they got one post office, and I don't know. But here in Thailand, I always get my mail, and I don't really have a problem. I send something. If somebody sends me something from the United States, usually I get it within a week. Maybe it's a little bit longer. It depends. When I send out for something from like Shopee or Amazon, Lazada, through Shopee or Lazada, I haven't tried Temu yet. It might take 2 days. It might take 4 or 5 days. Amazon's going to take a little bit longer, but that's the way it goes. There is confidence that lawmakers will find a solution for the Social Security dilemma before automatic cuts take effect. If they don't act, not only would they all be voted out of office, they wouldn't even remain in Washington. They'd be chased down the streets. But the clock is ticking, and the delay has already been costly. Medicare and disability solvency. While Social Security's retirement program is in danger of running short of cash, a separate program that supports disabled people appears to be solvent for the long term. Medicare's finances have also improved somewhat in the last year thanks to a strong economy and lower than expected spending. Still, the program, which provides health care for nearly 67 million people, is expected to face its own crunch in 2036. And I'm not going to really be involved with that, so I'm selfish. I'm not that concerned about it. So that's something else to think about. Yeah, but you have an address. People, even on Dumagut, they don't have addresses. So they live in a house and there's no address. Is that correct? I want to move to Thailand or Cambodia, so I don't need to think about politics. Just me. Well, I have a friend who I just spoke to today who was a long-term expat here in Thailand. And he moved to Cambodia because it was like right at the tail end of COVID, and he just got sick of everything here. And he goes, I just got to get out of here. So he went to Cambodia, and what he said to me was that the visa situation in Cambodia is a breeze. It's a piece of cake, and they welcome you. He did say to me, I think Cambodian people are nicer than Thais. I don't know, I think that's kind of anecdotal. He could be here, and he could be in a great mood, and for the next 2-3 weeks, he's in a good mood, or, he doesn't get in a bad mood. And then people are nice to him, they're decent to him, and he's like, oh, well, Thai people are pretty nice then, I guess. But then something goes wrong, and he's like, they fucking suck. That's kind of how he is. But moving to another place like Cambodia, now he did say to me, Cambodia has made strides by leaps and bounds to be a better country, but there's not as much to do there. They don't have a lot of things that Thailand has. Thailand has a lot more to offer than Cambodia, and I think if you want to be in Cambodia, generally it's because you're single. You're not like bringing your family there. You're not married and you want to go with your wife and live there. Generally, that's not the case, or hasn't been the case. You know, and I think it really depends on the person. I personally don't want to live there. The vibe there is not what I want. And, you know, I'm just doing the winter in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and likely summer, which is winter in Bali. No addresses outside of Manila and Cebu, a few others. The people I watch are like, I have no idea how we get delivery. They say crazy. By saying just me, I mean just my thought, not that I was considering just me. Just to clarify. I meant yes, Scott. Okay. I think it takes somebody who really knows about Asia to move over to Cambodia. I mean, you're going to get these pinheads, and I say pinheads because, you know, there are people who think, well, I got $800, you know, coming in every month. I'm fine. And they will be fine, but they're not exactly living what I would consider to be a prosperous life where they are saving for the future, and they've got health insurance, and they're covered, and they go to the dentist all the time, and they're getting glasses, and they're whatever they need, they get it. I would say out of the people, there are a lot of them that are not doing that. Maybe not as many as before because the country is growing, it's getting better, and I know that. I've seen the changes in the last few years that have gone on there, and like I said, I've been there many, many times. Probably more than most people ever go there. And what you know, we were talking about women, and everybody's like, well, I guess it's kind of even, but you know what, now I think about it, I got to give Thailand the edge. And I look at it and I just go, listen, you want to get involved and like marry some Cambodian chick, all right, whatever. But I don't know. I think it's hard to see. For me, it's hard to fathom being married to a Cambodian woman and then living in Cambodia if you have no experience living in Southeast Asia. Now, if you're an experienced expat and you've been there a few times, many times, whatever, you've been to Vietnam, you know all about it, okay, I can get it. Lots of Aussies living in Cambodia. Most seem to prefer Siem Reap over the other sites. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of places in Cambodia. I've been to Battambang. I've been to Siem Reap. I've been to many places, okay? And, I mean, I love it there. It's great. But just like I've said many times in the past, visiting there, living there short term is different than living there and thinking, not only thinking about, oh, I'm going to live here, and yeah, I've been here a year now, 2 years. I'm talking about if you're going to be there and you plan on living there for the rest of your lives and you're not in your 50s or 60s. If you're in 60s, you might go, listen, I might die in a year or two. I might die in 10 years. So you only got to worry about that period of time. But I'm talking about if you're some kid who's 25 years old, most of them come here. And the ones who are really, they want to be different, maybe then they go to Vietnam or Cambodia. You really want to be different, go to Myanmar. So you're coming to Thailand to hang out with expats? I mean, you know, I bumped into a guy yesterday from the UK. He comes all the time. Now he's here. He says, I'm going to give it a go here. And he has a lot of experience here because he's been coming and going from Great Britain to here for many years. Nice guy, right? And I think, okay, now he lives here fully. He's committed, but he was committed before because he would live here 4 or 5 months and then he'd go back there and then he'd come over after 4 or 5 months and he would live here again. You know, I don't know. I think moving here at this juncture, if I had to do all over again, what would I do? Would I move to Thailand? Well, first of all, I'd have to have a bit more money. I had 10 grand and a monthly, I had like 1,500 bucks a month coming. And that was for like 2 years. I didn't get all of it. Would I, what would I do? I don't know that I would come here. But it's still a viable place to live. I wouldn't go to Cambodia and I wouldn't go to the Philippines. The reason I wouldn't go to the Philippines, and I've been to the Philippines many times, it's been a while now, but I've been there, a dozen times or so. It's just the poverty and, like the inability to get things. And like you're saying, there's no addresses. I can't do without an address. Right now I have 3 or 4 things coming from Shopee. I got one from another place. What was that? Okay, and then I got I think I got 3 things coming. In the next couple of days, they'll be to the house. Now, if you got no address, where are they gonna go? How are they gonna get you? I'm gonna wait for 4 months to get the stuff? I don't want that. I expect better. Okay. So you're not like coming for the people. Like I want to hang out because there's a lot of people, and some of them live in the villages. And like if Jim were here, he would probably concur. Some Americans come here. Some could be Europeans, could be Australians. They come and they decide I'm going to live with my wife in the village, and they live in Udon Thani or Chayapum or wherever it is. And they're out there and they're bored stiff. They go to the mall once a week, they go out to eat once a week, and then the rest of the time they wake up and they sit with their buddies from the village and they drink beer. That's not for me. And I've talked about how I work out and everything. And I told myself, what is stopping me from just killing myself in the gym? Old age? Yeah, it does sometimes, I admit it. But really nothing. I thought that's what I need to be focusing on because hopefully that would extend my life. So that's something that, I've been talking to Nicholas about. He's really getting into working out now, which I really like to see. But that's what I need to do. So I have some plans to do that as well. And with the diet and all that kind of stuff, but it's expensive. Here it is expensive. We have spent, this week, we spent 6,000 baht on groceries. Next week, we might have to spend the same. I don't know. We might spend 20,000 for the month. It ain't cheap. I could spend less in Ecuador. I don't know about Cambodia. The infrastructure in the Philippines is horrible. Yeah. And we were talking about transportation yesterday. Let me see here. We were talking about transportation yesterday. And I told my buddy, I said, Bangkok is like 25th. I was like, what's up with that? I thought Bangkok would rate a lot higher. And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, I think it's, they've got it here on Al Jazeera, 198 Trump, 109 Harris. Let's see here on BBC what they have. Uh, 195 Trump, 91 Harris. Let me see here. %87% for Trump. Wow. That's a big difference. All right, let me see something here because I thought, what did I do with this? Unbelievable. Well, here's what I think about that. Oh, I'm so happy Trump won. I'll be happy when, after the first 100 days, when he really starts getting into things, into the meat of the meal. That's when I'm going to start feeling good or bad. I want to see what he has to offer. And, I don't mind that he used to be on TV. I don't mind it, and I mean, I do kind of mind, like, I wish I really could know what the truth about him is when it comes to the DOJ going after him and those kind of things. I wish I knew the truth. I don't know that it would matter. I would not vote for Harris. I just can't do it. But if he was like truly guilty and I might not vote at all. And I don't usually do that. Yeah, I liked him. I voted for him. Now I'm trying to find this, but I can't find it. he better beat Harris. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I think it's hard to say, and that's the thing. I mean, it's hard to say. How can you be sure? Really? I mean, are you sure he's going to be a great president? I'm not. Am I sure Kamala Harris would be great? No, I'm not. Thank you very much there, Tom. Tom's Crazy World. Appreciate that. Let me see something here. Where am I? Did I see Bruce in here? I don't know if I did or not. Maybe I did. Hello, Bruce, if you're still here. I don't know. I might have missed you. Let me see here. Except he may be a bit more radical as you can't get back in again. I don't know about that because he wanted to drain the swamp before. And I don't know, what he's going to go after. I'm thinking about immigration. I don't want people crossing the border and getting given things or coming in and being allowed to stay here until their case is heard. Let them stay in Mexico. If they're coming through in Mexico, let them stay in Mexico. Where are you seeing that, Wesley? Because I'm looking, and what I see, let me see here. I've got I got 198 to 112. Yeah, that's what I have. Oops, hang on a second. I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, yeah, it does work. All right, good. Yeah, Wesley, where are you seeing that? Because I can't find it on Fox. Something has gone wrong. Here we go. What's this here? Let's see what this says. If it says anything. All right, so I don't know what we got here, but they're going over the local races. Let's see here. This is what I want right here. For off-land income that you know, or the YouTuber's just excited? Well, you're asking me this, and my response would be, I haven't heard anything concrete from the government that says I'm going to be taxed from everywhere. And frankly, I don't really care, because even if they do tax me, I'll either have to pay very little, because they're not going to tax Social Security, and I can keep money to where they're not going to see it, they're not going to find it, I'm not going to let them, and, you know, I'm not worried. The only thing is if you got to, you know, like if something happens and you need like $200,000 to pay for a bill, and then you got to bring it in somehow, or you got to pay for something, and they see that I just don't know how they're going to follow up with this. I think it's a bad idea, but I'm not worried about it, not in the least. Okay, so it says West Virginia, that was called, I'm going to just see the whole, give me the whole picture. I don't want to just see state by state. Which it just irritates me. I can't find it on Fox. I don't know where it is. Let me see some. So Wesley, again, where have you seen this? 207 to 91, because I'm not seeing that. Al Jazeera has it. Good morning, Gallo. 198 to 112. The BBC has it, let's see here, 195. Yeah, I've got it. It's 207 to 91 on NBC. Yes, thank you, Robert. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn this off right here. And, whoa, wow, I got not very much time left on my laptop. That was her grandparents. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so I sort of have my doubts that this is going to be finished in the next few hours. I think it might take a few days. I don't know. It depends. It depends on if Trump ends up smoking her. He's got 207. He only needs 63 more. But will he get those 63? Can he? I don't know. You know, what do I know? Her dad said he does not have a drop of black blood in him. Oh, God. Now, I looked at the Patia News today, and they have an analysis about how Trump or Harris, how their presidencies can affect and impact Thailand. And it sounds to me like they're leaning towards Kamala Harris. I don't know. They're saying her administration might place a stronger emphasis on human rights and democratic values globally, potentially affecting U.S.-Thai relations. This could mean increased pressure on Thailand to improve its human rights record, especially concerning freedom of expression and political freedoms. Well, she ain't gonna do shit here. I'm sorry, nobody's gonna do that. Thailand's not gonna kowtow to these politicians. There might be a continuation or slight enhancement of trade relations focusing on sustainability and fair labor practices. The Biden-Harris administration had shown interest in regional partnerships like the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, which could benefit Thai exports, but might also come with stringent environmental regulations with a focus on climate change policies. Harris could continue the Biden policy of reinforcing alliances in Southeast Asia to counterbalance Russia and China's influence. This might lead to more military cooperation agreements with an emphasis on multilateral efforts rather than unilateral U.S. actions. Harris's background, whatever that might be, could foster cultural exchanges, particularly with a focus on diversity and inclusion. I can't stand those words. It's not that I don't think there should be diversity and inclusion. I don't think people should be forced into it. And I don't think you can force one tribe to love another. That's a simplified way of putting it. Potentially opening doors for more educational and cultural programs between the U.S. and Thailand. Harris is likely to support more rights for minority groups in Thailand and urge Thailand to take more proactive measures on immigration and refugees. Listen, she isn't going to affect Thailand. I don't see them doing this. I don't know where this guy comes up with this. That's probably Adam, the guy who I think runs and owns the Pattaya News. But I don't see this happening. She is not going to change the way Thailand functions. I just don't see it, okay? While the Biden-Harris administration applauded the recently passed Marriage Equality Act in Thailand, who cares? I don't need their support here. We don't need their support. If you are gay, what would you need America's? Oh, we back it up. Listen, all that matters is Thailand backs it up. What the United States does is their business, so it doesn't matter. Harris is likely to encourage Thailand to give more rights to transgender individuals in particular, goody, such as allowing them national ID cards in their preferred gender. I don't have a problem with that, honestly. Yes, I've been to Canom. I went, 6 months ago or so, and liked it. And to see Chom, it was very nice. Let me see here. I still have it 207.91 on NBC, 198, 112 on Al Jazeera, and 195 to 91 on the BBC. Let me see here. What was I doing just a minute ago? Did I forget? Maybe. Let me see something here. $10:30 already. Wow. Oh, I know what I'm looking at. Okay, under Donald Trump. Trump's known for his America First policy. What is wrong with that? Which could mean protectionist trade policies. That's tricky. Thailand might face higher tariffs or trade barriers unless it negotiates favorable terms. I'm sure he can make a deal. However, Trump's past actions suggest he might seek bilateral trade agreements that could be advantageous for Thailand if navigated correctly. Thank you. Foreign policy, a Trump presidency might adopt a more transactional approach with Thailand, focusing on immediate benefits rather than long-term alliances. This could affect Thailand's role in regional security with less U.S. involvement in Asian affairs unless directly beneficial. Another kind of tricky one. I don't really know about that, but maybe that would be good. Thailand is a very transactional country. That's what they understand, so maybe that's a good thing. But I don't know if long term is better. Wow. Low black turnout hurts Kamala in swing states. Wow. Now, I'm looking here on the Georgia, Donald Trump. Pennsylvania, Trump is winning, but only 53% in. Trump. Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio. No, this is the Senate. Okay. Let's see here. Wow. 242 to 108 on Newsmax. Now, I don't know, maybe they're jumping the gun a little bit. Let me see something here. They're not showing how many, I don't know how many electoral votes are in Wisconsin. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is how many electoral votes? $19 electoral votes. So that's quite a bit. That puts him, I don't know if they're counting that already. I don't think they would be. But that would put him at, according to Newsmax, that put him at 261, which is within striking distance of winning the presidency. I just don't see how she can win the presidency, honestly. Now, who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'm going to be like, oh, God, I can't believe Harris won. I don't know. But, you know, either way, I'm not sure what it means to me. And that's why I'm saying, listen, one of them becomes president. You don't know. I don't think she would be a very good president, but maybe she would fool everybody and she'd be fantastic. I don't know. I doubt it. With him, maybe he'd be a great president. Maybe it would work out wonderfully. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. And that's the thing. You know, hopefully he wouldn't be on Twitter as much. He wouldn't be writing Twitters at 3 in the morning. I hope he wouldn't be doing that. So, yeah, Robert, I really liked Canome. I liked it because the air was fresh. The beaches were pretty nice. I got a motorcycle down there. Traffic was almost non-existent. The views were pretty good. Going to Sichon, I got there in about 30 minutes. Very nice place. People are nice, you know, very laid back. My kind of place. But then I say to my wife, oh, let's go down there. No, I don't want to go there. Why not? I don't know. I just don't want to. I'm like, so you got to, you know, and she's like, you want to go to Taiwan with me? And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm not going to live in Taiwan, I can tell you that. So, all right, where are we right now? We're at an hour and a half. Is that right? No. Yeah, we're at an hour and a half. And my laptop, for some reason, I don't think it was charged fully. The battery is starting to go dead. I got about 20% left, but that doesn't matter because I still got the phone. So let's see. Let's stick around for a few minutes and see what happens. Regular homepage is here. Let's see. FBI warns of bomb threats from Russia at multiple voting sites. Russia, Iran, yeah, they're all pains in the asses. All these countries, they're pain in the, you know, they want to see what they can do. Who knows? No, I don't see the voting on their main page. Or is this it here? No. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's, forget about that right now. cheap bungalows to rent on yearly contract in Canome. Very small ones for $200 a month and much bigger, $295 a month yearly. It was nice, seemingly peaceful, not busy place. I know, it's nice. It's very nice, and I know you can get things there, 6,000, you know, but to be honest, I mean, honestly, I'm not really looking for places where I can go, okay, how cheap is it? Thank you, Sammy. I mean, you know, it does, the prices obviously concern me. I always think about price. I'm looking for the best value. And when I was there, I had a room there. I think it was 15 bucks a night or something, 20 bucks a night. And I was like, this place is okay. You know, it was just for me. Now, if I was to have my wife with me and my kids with me, that'd be a different story. Testing, testing. Tokyo Sam, I'm sure you know, the big day is upon us. Oh my God, the big day. You don't know what it is? It's the presidential election. Oh my God. So far I see it on Newsmax, 242 to 108 in favor of Trump. 210 to 91 on NBC in favor of Trump. Let me see, has that changed? Probably not, no. 204 to 112 on Al Jazeera. And let's see here on the BBC, 207 to 91 for Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't know what to believe. And, you know, I'm hoping that at the end of this, the loser concedes the race and just says, hey, I got beat. I hope you guys are happy. Let's move on and do something good for the country. Not, oh my God, there was fraud, there was this, there was that. Ah, God, I don't want to see that. The big digital coin is up 5 G's on the day. Wow. 5 G's, that's a lot, man. Need to get me some of that. So let me see something else here. We already know. Now they're telling me about the electoral votes on this web. I already know about this shit. Do electors ever go rogue? Generally, the meeting of electors is a ceremonial event where they simply rubber stamp votes for the candidate and who won their respective states. But in 2016, 7 of the 538 electors recorded their vote for someone other than their state's popular vote winner, an unusually high number. 3 of these 7 electors voted for Colin Powell, a former U.S. Secretary of State, even though they represented states that picked the Democratic candidate, Hillary Clinton. Trump ultimately won the election. God, I hope I never see her again try to run for president. You know, can we just have a woman that looks good, who's smart, who's politically astute, that would be a good president? I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. And she could be black. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm looking at, you know, a lot more than just, you know, oh God, what color is she? Where does she come from? Where does she hail from? Oh, Oakland, New York. You know, come on. Unbelievable. All right, Trump's policies could tighten visa regulations, potentially impacting Thai students and tourists to the U.S. Conversely, if Trump promotes tourism from the U.S. to Asia as an economic strategy, this might boost Thai tourism. I don't think he's going to hurt anything with the Thais coming into the country. And, you know, I can tell you that when my wife went to apply to get her visa to the United States, it was a piece of cake. I would never dream it would be as easy as it was. It was so easy, I couldn't believe it. She's in and out of the meeting with the person at the embassy in like 10 minutes. Okay, you'll get your visa in the next 2 days, and she did. Should Trump revert or slow down on climate commitments? This could have mixed effects. Less stringent environmental regulations might benefit Thai industries in the short term, but could clash with global sustainability trends. Listen, Thailand is not all that great when it comes to their environmental policies, so they could use a little bit of work. Both presidents would likely have to navigate the complex dynamics of U.S.-China relations. What a pain in the ass that is. Either president, it doesn't matter to me, or, whoever down the line, it's always a pain in the ass. Thailand has economic stakes with China. Harris might push for a more collective approach against China's assertiveness, while Trump could opt for direct negotiations or confrontations, influencing Thailand's strategic positioning. While both candidates offer distinct approaches, the choice between them could dictate the tone of U.S.-Thai relations for the next 4 years, affecting everything from trade to cultural exchanges. Thai leaders will need to strategically align their policies to leverage opportunities or mitigate potential downsides from either presidency. Now, what I would say is Thailand's leaning toward China. That's where they're leaning. That's their bread and butter, man. You think it's the United States, but I have my doubts about that. Now, let me see here. Kamala Harris has emphasized maintaining strong international alliances and been critical of leaders like Vladimir Putin, who is part of BRICS. Her focus on democracy, human rights, and a rule-based international order might lead her to be cautious or even skeptical about supporting the expansion of BRICS, especially if it includes the countries that might not align with these values. However, her administration's approach to international economic blocs might lean towards strengthening U.S. influence in Asia, potentially seeing BRICS expansion as counterproductive to U.S. strategic interest in the region. Trump's foreign policy has been characterized by an America First approach, which I don't think is wrong. Why would it be? I just don't see it. I don't see why people get so pissed because you want to wear a hat. I wouldn't be pissed if I see a hat that says Harris to win. It wouldn't bother me. Or she says, something about America. It wouldn't bother me. So why would it bother you if you wear a MAGA hat? Makes no sense. Oh, but you believe in that and all. Why get all upset about it, man? You are not going to just make a difference. You yourself as one person are not going to make that much of a difference. You are not all that powerful. Most people are not. They got one vote out of all the votes in their state. Trump's administration actually suggests a preference for direct negotiations rather than supporting large economic blocks that might challenge U.S. economic dominance or where the U.S. isn't a member. There's no direct evidence from his previous term There's no direct evidence from his previous term about opposition to BRICS expansion, but his general skepticism towards international organizations that do not directly benefit the U.S. might extend to this issue. While neither candidate has explicitly stated opposition to China and joining BRICS, their broader policy frameworks suggest they may not actively support it. And Harris might oppose or at least not support it if she perceives it as an undermining democratic or human rights value or diluting U.S. influence in Southeast Asia. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about cannabis. Let's not even go there. All right, we don't need to go to cannabis. All right, I'm going to close this now. I don't know what the numbers are, so if anybody could keep me apprised of what they are, I'd appreciate it. As we get ready, we got about 10 minutes left. 210 to 112. So we still got 60 more for Trump for the win. You got 158 for Kamala Harris, which, you know, stranger things have happened. I wouldn't be surprised if she does pull out a win. Well, I'd be a little surprised. I would be surprised if she won now. I've heard it was going to be a blowout, but I didn't really think that. I thought, well, who knows? You know, I'm kind of like, you see the polls and you see the media. They're all leaning towards Harris. The mainstream media loves to jump on the bandwagon, and they want to hate Trump. And, you know, I get it. In a way, I get it. I understand. They don't like him because he's brash, because he, you know, he basically tells them to take a hike. I understand that. You're fake news. You know, I understand. And some of the stuff he says, he puts it on himself. You know, it's his own problem. You know, he makes it for himself. But honestly, I think he's the better choice. That's what I think. Now, I could just say, oh, I didn't want to vote. Or I wanted to vote for Harris because there is no because. I can't think of a reason to vote for her. I think about Social Security and I think, listen, first of all, Social Security is a little ways off. Hopefully they would fix it in the next 4 years, but I don't see that happening. If they did, all they're going to do is say, we're going to keep Social Security. We're going to have to approve some bill that releases funds. That means we don't have to cut anything. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it to where now you have to be 67 at a minimum to collect Social Security. I don't see them saying, you know, we're cutting it all, we're cutting 25%. I just don't see that happening. So, you know, what happened here? How come I can't get my, there we go. Thank you very much, Dallo. How you doing? Back in Oz. Do they care about the election in Oz? I mean, other than how's it gonna affect Australia? How's one president or another gonna affect Australia? Oh man, that is hard. Espresso on the rocks. They just get an espresso and they put it in a plastic cup with their round ice ball, which now I have the ability to do that. I got one more ice ball maker to buy, and I'll get it in the near future. But I know out of all the ones that I have, and I have 3 different ice ball makers, I know which one I like the most. But I want to see if this new one, which is supposedly better, but it is more expensive, it's $25 worth like, you know, versus like $1 each or something, you know. We care about our overlord's election. Well, you know, they're very strict in Australia from what I hear. The laws are very strict. Now, Dowlow, can you collect your pension in Bangkok? If you moved here full time, could you collect your pension? How would that work? Because I thought it was the UK that didn't allow that. And they asked the guy yesterday, he was telling, no. He's like, I can collect my pension, but it is the cost of living is frozen for me. But he still can collect it. And I thought it was the UK that didn't allow it, but maybe it's Australia. If you live in another country, you can't collect your Social Security or whatever it's called there. So do you know if that's true? Are you thinking about it, or have you thought about it, or, you know, what's the deal? Inquiring minds would like to know. You can't collect your pension after 6 months outside the country, I think. So is that why you don't come over here full time, or is it just because you enjoy going back and forth and you like your life in Australia? Which, contrary to what is believed by some people, Not everybody hates America and hates, oh my God, all these things are going on. If Mr. Billy was awake and he could talk to me and tell me about things, how they were when he was back in the United States. Jono has told me, my friend has told me, he hates it there now. And he's the one who wants to come back over here. He lived in Cambodia and in Thailand. But Jono has said, well, things are exorbitantly expensive there. And Billy has told me, listen, if you just mind your own business and you don't try to get involved in all these issues, you generally will not have a problem, but things are more expensive. And so, you know, that's kind of important that you think that way. But I know a lot of people who are very happy with the lives that they have in the United States. They wouldn't want to move. They don't want to move to another country. They go, why do I want to live in Thailand? I got a great life here. You know, when I was living in California, I mean, I had a nice apartment. I had a decent life, but I was working my ass off. I was working to survive and to live. I didn't, you know, well, that's pretty much what I spent. My days were spent working. 5-6 days of work, I was working in the desert area, Palm Desert. Oh, I didn't know it was 67 in Australia. Wow. I thought you were like 72, Dowlo. I'm not fond of the EU. 210.91. Okay. Well, I want to see some movement, one way or the other. I just like to see what happens. And I said this before. I mean, I think Pennsylvania I know, I'm only joking, Dowlo. You're my age. Supposedly Pennsylvania wouldn't be finished, and it might take them days to count the votes, to be certain. But, you know, that's the thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe by tomorrow morning, everybody knows, and we're like, okay, welcome. President Kamala Harris. Trump. You know. Newsmax. What do they got? Is that what you just told me? Oh, that was Sky. The same as Arizona is close. Yeah, I've heard Arizona was close. I've also heard that Trump supposedly will win Arizona. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. You know, that's the problem. Who do you believe? Yeah, listen, if I watched The Morning Joe, I would never hear anything good about Trump. Or if I watched The View, I would never hear anything good about him. And what's funny is Donald Trump was on The View long ago, and they loved him. 242 to 108. Wow. 242, man, that's really close. That's really close to him winning. Trump seems honest. I wouldn't go that far, buddy. I really wouldn't go that far. I don't know, but honest is the best word for any politician. And Trump, you know, listen, he grew up in the trenches in New York, in construction, in building. You know, I think he could be a good guy. I think it depends on the context when you're dealing with him. I think he possibly could be a great guy. But I think if you got into a major business deal with him and he thought the best way to do things is to screw you over, he might do that. You know. So, you know, I don't trust him. I don't trust any politician. You know, that's a very simplified way of putting it, but I don't trust Harris for sure. I don't trust her. With her, to me, she's got a fake smile. She giggles all the time in inappropriate times, and it just bothers me. You know, she bothers me, and you know, sometimes he bothers me. I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes he bugs me. He says things like they are, but sometimes he's a little bit too crass. I mean, he doesn't need to say some of the things that he says. We'll put it that way. However, that doesn't detract from him being a good president. There are presidents, I'm sure there are presidents out there from 100 to 150 years ago, something like that, that, they swore, every other word they were using a curse word. Does that mean that he's not going to be a good president? Well, maybe, but I doubt it. He could be a great president. He's just explosive, I mean, he's just the kind of guy who goes off and I don't know, what I think what you want is a very measured person who has political etiquette and who makes good decisions. Now, I don't think Trump makes a lot of bad decisions, but I think sometimes I don't know, he's a businessman. That's how I think about it. When Ross Perot was running, I was like, I wonder if Ross Perot could really be president. I really thought, wow, I wonder if this guy can become president. I thought he had a shot, but that was it. I didn't really think he was going to win it. Newsmax? What's Newsmax showing now? Have they changed it? 242 to 108 was the last time. Oh, man. That gets harsh. That really gets harsh. Her grandparents owned the slave plantations and she lived there part-time. Yeah, but she wasn't involved with slaves. I mean, come on. You can't, I'm not going to fault her for that. I'm not that harsh. I mean, what's it been now? 159 years, something like that? Everybody's got to take a selfie. I like to see, these people who go out, they're out in a national park somewhere, and they're backing up against a bear. There's a bear sitting there, and they get out of their car, and they go up and try to take a selfie with the bear. I don't know what they're thinking. Who knows? I'm like, maybe you can weed out that part of the gene pool. Eat the person, get rid of them. Anyway, I don't know that we're going to see the end of this anytime soon. It might be till tomorrow or something like that. If Trump does win tomorrow, or if Kamala Harris wins by chance, maybe I'll stream tomorrow as well. 179 to 214. Now that's closing in. However, I don't know why it was 248. I think maybe Newsmax might be a little bit jumping the gun a bit. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't really know. None of us do. You got all these different, it's like, they're like polls. Oh, wow. It's tomorrow. Wow, does that matter? I don't think it does. I really don't think it matters at all, man. Yeah, I'll know the result today, yeah. I guess if somebody wins, yeah, I will. But if they don't, and they're going to be counting for the next couple of days, I'll be waiting. I'll be sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I'm thinking about what can I eat. I need to eat pretty soon. What is it now? It's 2 hours, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Usually I want to wait until about 2 o'clock. But, we'll see. Oh, man. So this is the way the world turns. Will it be Harris? Will it be Trump? That's the big question. And, one way or the other, even though I don't really like Harris, If she becomes president, well, I'm just going to pray that she does a great job. And the same goes with Trump. If he becomes president, I'm going to be like, do a good job and don't do anything where it's going to affect me or it's going to affect a mass of people in the United States. And, you know, Trump's already done that with Roe versus Wade. And, you know, I don't really like that, but it is what it is. That's one thing. Yeah, and the one thing that I don't really like seeing is that you got Newsmax at 2:48. How did they reach that? They have called things maybe a little bit quickly, whereas other news agencies have not. And, you know, that it makes me wonder. If it's 2:14, 179, that's very close. I mean, that's really close. You got it, Sky News, 145, 214. How did he get to 248? And wouldn't it suck if he got to like 268 and then all of a sudden Harris makes a comeback? Oh my God, she wins. She shoots, she scores. It's over. She's the president. Ugh. God forbid. You know, honestly, I really do wish there were two top-notch candidates for president. But where are we going to find them? Right here? I don't think so. Where are you going to find two people that would make great presidents that are running against each other? Where are you going to find them? Okay. 214, 145. I mean, that's only 56. You know, each president has visited the heavenly abode. He had some contact with North Korea. He spoke well with Putin. He did not make any enemies with foreign countries. He never went to war. That's true. You know, that is true. He's got experience as the president. He's been there before. With her, I think internationally, she's limited. You know, she might be going to, what am I thinking of here? She might be going to, you know, dances and events where the president doesn't want to go, and she's going to make an appearance. And that's about, I mean, what else has she done? She's the border czar. They got to straighten that matter out. Whoever it is, they have to straighten that out. Illegal immigrants, there's a reason why they call them illegal. Because they don't need to be staying in our country while they wait to find out if they are allowed to come in or not. And they certainly don't need to be given any money to live here. And if they come from an insane asylum or, you know, God forbid, they're part of a gang or they need to be vetted. And if they come from these kind of places, these kind of, maybe they're from a gang or something like that, then you don't let them in. These are not the stellar people that you would like to see come in because they really want to make a life for themselves in the United States and do better for themselves. Now, granted, somebody could have been to jail. Who knows? He went, and, you know, he really shouldn't have gone. He gets out of jail. He's making a better life for himself, and he wants a better life in America. Maybe that's a different story. But, you know, and then, you know, Trump is already saying, listen, if I'm elected president, they're getting the boot. I don't know how easy that is to do, to give them the boot. And, you know, do you really want that? I don't know. You know, I would say you get the ones that you think are bad apples and you get them out of Dodge as quickly as possible. And you don't let them back in. And finish that wall. I don't get that. The illegal thing, I don't get. The economy is in the shitter in America. From what I've heard, food prices are double, even triple. What's up with that? Why does everything have to be so damn expensive? And in turn, things have gotten more expensive here. Well, that's the thing. There is that ideology, that line of thinking where all the people coming in are future Democrats. However, they're coming from Catholic nations, a lot of them. And from what I've heard, actually, a lot of them, they may say they want to be a Democrat. They may say these things, but a lot of them are Republicans, supposedly. I don't know what the truth is. And that's what it all boils down to. Oh, I know so much. I'm on the inside. No, I'm not. And that's why all these celebrities, I saw that J-Lo came out. Oh, she made a little speech, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know, I look at her and I just go, listen, honey, you've made it. You're smart in a sense of knowing how to market yourself. You look good for your age, but I don't care about your political stance. And I don't want to listen to you. Just like Robert De Niro. I don't give a shit what he thinks. I don't give a shit what Hulk Hogan thinks. I don't care what they think. Let me make a decision on my own. I don't need you to prod me. But Jesus Christ, putting her up there and putting Oprah up there, of all people. Oprah's so goddamn out of touch. What is she, a multi-billionaire? Oh yeah, she knows exactly what it's like to go and buy a frickin' quart of milk. I don't think so. Anyway, we got any changes in the numbers? This inquiring mind would like to know. Oh my God. No, they're not going to come into Thailand because Thailand's not going to let them in. Thailand's going to go, get the fuck out of here. You're out of here, buddy. You can't come in. Look what they do to the immigrants from Myanmar. They turn them back. Get the fuck out of here. And you know, I understand. It ain't easy. You know, you feel for some of these people. Some of them you don't. Well, what about Elon? I don't see them getting rid of Elon. I don't know why, but I just don't think they're going to get rid of him. I don't think they're going to boot him out of America. I don't think it's going to happen. He's too lawyered up. It's just not going to happen. And I think it's, you know, it's many, many years ago. What are you going to do? You're going to get somebody for something 30 years ago? It's just like, you know, somebody uses a word or says something from 30, 40 years ago. I mean, actors have been doing it. Oh, we're acting, we talk like this. And now, we can't talk like that. But we already did it. That's how things were in the 40s and 50s or the 20s or the whatever. Okay, so it's, you know, listen, it might be a race, you know. I don't know how Newsmax has it at 248. That's a big difference. What does Newsmax have it at now? I'm just sitting here like waiting for the numbers. I think they had Go Norway. Here are the Politic Harris. Okay. What the hell? Oh, God. Anyway, listen. If you're an American, be grateful that you have the right to vote. Whether you're voting for Trump, whether you're writing somebody in, whether you're voting for Kamala Harris, be thankful that you have that right because many, many, many other countries do not have that right. And for that, you should be thankful. And what I'll say, whether there's going to be a winner in the next couple hours or not, is just hope that just hope that whoever is elected becomes the best president they can be, that does a lot, makes a lot of positive changes in America. That's what I'm hoping for. So if you were single, would you or could you spend a year in Canome? I don't know. I probably wouldn't spend a whole year there. I think it'd get boring. I like it there. I'd like to hang out there, but I don't know. Should have sent all Harris to Greenland if it was something. Oh, God. You know, I'm trying to not lean one way, to lean in a harsh manner to Trump. I don't want to do that. I just don't think that Harris is the person for the job. That's all I want to say. I don't think she's it. I look at her and I don't see her leading the world, leading the free world, the most powerful woman on the planet. I just don't see it. So I'm sorry if that conflicts with any of you, and I know there's one person it conflicts with. But I just don't see it, man, you know? And so, you know, but I mean, listen, like I said, if she does win, I hope she's a damn good president. I hope she's not an idiot and she doesn't make a fool of herself. And she doesn't end up being the worst. And I don't particularly think Biden was great. I don't think he was great by anyone's calculations. So, all right, I think that's all I got to say. I don't think we're gonna get to anything in the next couple of minutes. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Actually, I need to take a piss. So I need to go and take care of that. What is this kid walking around by himself for? Hello? I don't know what this kid is doing alone. Hey, what? Hey, I kind of look like Kamala Harris. Yeah. Oh, no, now I look like Donald Trump. What is this kid sitting there for? Where's he going? Where's Mama? Where's Daddy? Oh, my God. The kid's just running around by himself. Where's he going? Oh, there we go. Here comes Mama. I was starting to get worried. She's busy looking at her ballot. Who should I vote for? I've only got minutes to vote for Harris or Trump. Who should I choose? All right. Anyway, the end. We are done. Thank you. That is all. Smash the like button. I notice we haven't had a huge number of people because no one really wants to talk about politics. And they don't really want to listen to me. Oh, thank you very much, Dowlow. You're a gentleman and a scholar, I think. Yeah, thank you. That is all. I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. More specifically, Bangkapi. And until next time, Chok Di Leo Jerkan Mai, that is good luck and see you later. And I think that's all I got to say. So I hope your candidate wins. And if they don't win, I hope they're a damn good president no matter what. So thank you very much. And I will talk to you all tomorrow, Friday, whenever, excuse me. So take care and be well. All right? Later.